Hello and welcome back to Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Well, last time we finished up Chapter 8, which was the final witch trial, and today we'll be starting up Chapter 9, The Last Inquisitor. Court is now once again in session. However, I must say I am quite surprised at this recent turn of events. To see Miss Kira at the witness stand once again, frankly, I cannot believe my eyes. You were most certainly sent to the flames as a witch.
That's right, I was there, I saw it, she was most certainly... How is she still alive? Is it because she's a witch? Can witches not die? No, she must have just used Demir and vanished just in time.
That doesn't explain how she got out of the cage.
Enough! A witch must be in possession of Italian magic in order to use magic. I disappoint you all, but do you see such a thing on her person?
I think not. But she must have. That girl must have used Demir. Surely you can see that, High Inquisitor.
Demir is a spell able to make someone disappear from sight. It cannot make one vanish entirely, and besides... An investigation conducted by the Knights of the Inquisition had concluded that this girl is not capable of using magic.
Listen well, Miss Kira. Your existence alone jeopardizes the very peace of Labyrinthia. Yet, given the current situation, it is now imperative that you testify to this court regarding what you saw. Immediately.
Objection! That will not be necessary.
Yes, it will. What?
This girl has already been convicted and tried as a witch in a previous trial.
Objection! But she was found hiding at the crime scene. I say that makes her a very important witness. A witness whose testimony we cannot choose to ignore. High Inquisitor Darklaw, I'm afraid your objection is overruled.
You wish to proceed then? Very well. Let us see just how much of her story this girl is willing to tell the court, shall we?
We shall. There's no doubt about it, Miss Kira must have escaped through the passage leading into the Chamber of Fire. Although, from the looks of it, the judge doesn't have a clue that the escape route even exists. Yeah, why would anybody have any idea that that escape route exists?
I wish you'd hurry up and get the hint. I'm dying to take this helmet off already. The top of my head really itches.
Sorry, Maya, take that thing off now and we're as good as done. Just hang in there a little while longer.
Ah.
I mean, she could just, like, duck underneath the desk and then scratch her head really quickly. Very well, testimony, you may begin your testimony. Explain to the court how you are standing here in court today, and why you are hiding at the crime scene. My role and identity.
I am not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldritch Woods. I came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller. As it rained, I waited near the bell tower next to the vigilantes for my chance. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that.
Yeah, that's a lie, mate. Yeah, there's no way you don't stammer when you say that and with a straight face. You came here to kill the storyteller?
Yes, that was my task.
Objection!
Keep in mind, this girl was not the one who summoned the fire dragon in the end. That was the accused. As I warned you earlier, there is nothing to be gained from this witch testimony. Despite the fact that she admitted to committing the crime that you're trying to blame a speller for, yeah, there's nothing worth paying attention to that testimony.
Objection!
Nothing at all. Now hold on. She was still present at the scene of the crime with the intent to murder the storyteller. The defense insists we be permitted to continue with our cross-examination on those grounds. Darklaw is really trying to weasel her way out of this cross-examination. That means there has to be something there. I must admit, I too am extremely interested in hearing what this witness has to say. Defender, you may begin your interrogation. Alright, cross-examination. My role and identity. Well, first things first, you must know something else.
Hold it!
Miss Kira, who's that gave you your orders?
I cannot say.
And why is that?
I am not to disclose the identity of the one who has given me my orders. That in itself is an order.
How convenient.
I am only supposed to carry out my orders, nothing more. I do not know anything else, and besides,
there is nothing more that I can really do. Nothing more she can do? But hold on just a minute. Surely you are capable of using magic. You are a witch, are you not?
I am not a witch.
What did you just say? Okay, then how did you get to the... Okay, how did you sneak your way past the guards? I cannot use magic. She can't use magic?
This girl is a witch. Every person in the courtroom knows that as a matter of fact. There can be nary a doubt.
Yeah, exactly. So, riddle me this. Doesn't look like there's much to work with.
Even though she's just finished explaining everything, I still don't fully understand. Oh man, Nick, you don't think this Kira is actually some sort of crazy magical zombie, do you?
Maya, you went through the same thing as Kira. Did you become a magical zombie? It remains to be seen.
Oh yeah, I guess not, huh?
Luke and I couldn't believe it was Kira when we ran into her in the marketplace. I mean, we thought for sure she was a goner back at the trial.
I don't think I'm far off, though. This Kira is way different from the old Kira. Looks like she doesn't remember a thing. She's almost like another person entirely.
But what if that's just it, Maya? What if the Kira right here, right now, is the real Kira and the old Kira wasn't?
The real Kira, huh?
Yeah, and that's why I think I'm bound to find something useful in her testimony.
We can do this, Nick! I hope you're ready to slam on some desks because we're gonna do some serious pressing here.
It's really hard to take her seriously when she's looking at you through the eyes of that helmet. Anyway, so you can't use magic and yet somehow you snuck your way past all the vigilantes.
Hold it!
Hold it right there, Miss Kira. You snuck right past the vigilantes?
Yes, that's right. The girl is a witch. Therefore, something as simple as vanishing from sight is child's play, isn't that right, witness? Yes, that is correct.
Aha! I remember now. Just a few days ago, this girl used that very vanishing spell. Demir, if memory serves.
Well, what are you gawking at, witness? Continue with your testimony.
What was that just now? I could have sworn I just saw Kira's face turn even paler than normal. Wait a second, there's something not right about this testimony. It's just a hunch, but what should I do? Press further. Of course, you all always press further, except in Rise from the Ashes. Miss Kira, I have one simple question for you. You stated earlier in your testimony that you snuck past the vigilantes guarding the bell tower and went right inside. Tell me, did you use the spell Demir to get by them? That must certainly be the case. Had she not, she would surely have been spotted.
Objection!
But remember what she let slip just a moment or two ago. She denied being a witch and stated she cannot use magic. Ah, therefore if that's true, then you, Miss Kira, would not have been able to use Demir at all!
Objection!
What a ridiculous argument. How else would this girl have been able to walk right into the bell tower unnoticed by the guards? Explain that.
Objection!
I have a better idea. How about we have the witness herself explain it to you? What do you say, Miss Kira?
I am not a witch.
Yeah.
And I cannot use magic.
Yeah, you keep telling me is that the creed that they brainwashed into you? Like, I am not a witch. I cannot use magic. I am not a witch. I cannot use magic. Like you're reading off a script. So then, exactly how were you able to ascend to the bell tower without being noticed? Witness, amend your testimony this instant.
Okay.
What's going on? There's got to be another way she got into the bell tower unseen, but other than the magic, I have no idea what that could be. I was wearing the robe of invisibility. The what? That wouldn't happen to be the robe that we have. It's all covered in flour, would it?
Objection!
There was, in fact, a robe dropped and left at the crime scene tonight. A robe? Miss Kira, that robe of invisibility that you mentioned earlier wouldn't happen to be this one right here, would it?
Objection!
How ludicrous. You are trying to tell the court that is the robe of invisibility? If it's really a robe of invisibility, then how is it we can see it right now, dirty white spots and all? If Kira can use the spell Demir to make herself invisible, then how is it possible for us to see her right now? That's how dumb what you just said was. Dark Law. Well, you gotta yeah, but what would be the point in designing a robe that is permanently invisible? Why would you? What if the robe actually disappears when you wear it? Oh, really, Maya? Maya is the one that came up with the ingenious solution to your so-called problem, Dark Law. Give it here, Nick. Watch and wonder as Maya the Magnificent disappears before your very eyes.
Or maybe that wasn't gonna be how that worked.
So, are you amazed yet?
Yeah, I'm amazed at how totally ridiculous you look in that.
Hey, what gives? This thing must be busted or something. I didn't disappear at all.
Maybe because the robe is currently covered in flour. Do you think that could have something to do with it? Gee, I don't know. My point stands. What is the point in designing a robe that is permanently invisible? Obviously, the robe would not be. Why would that? I can't believe Dark Law just said that. That the robe would be constantly invisible, or that it would have to be constantly invisible. Why would you say that? Come on now. But is that? How is that possible? The robe did not disappear at all just now.
It's because of the white powder on it. It's not usually that dirty.
Oh, you mean these spots here? Please don't tell me.
Oh yeah, Patty totally unloaded an entire bag of flour onto those knights, remember?
Not to mention it was still raining when we were up there. The flower must have gotten nice and wet so it stained the robe. Say, what if we would try washing the flower off? Ah! There is a small water fountain at the edge of the square. Head there right now and wash the robe. Wow, you're gonna try washing this thing in a freaking water fountain? A tiny water fountain. Alright, we'll see you guys in 6 hours when we finish cleaning the robe with a water fountain. Oh, no, never mind. I thought it was gonna be like one of those things you had back in school, where you, like, had to press the button and lean forward. Yeah, I never used those things. Those are just bacteria farms, because everybody would put their mouth on that thing. It's like, yeah, I never used that. I always brought my own water bottle. But that's what I thought they were talking about, not literally a giant fountain. That's not a small water fountain, by the way.
Alright, this shouldn't be too hard. Take notes, Nick. This is how you do the laundry. By dipping it into a giant fountain. See, all you have to do is throw the robe into the water like so. Wait, what?
So, do you see anything, Maya?
That's just it. I don't see a thing. It's disappeared.
What? I frantically took a close look at the water in the fountain, but the robe had actually vanished without a trace right there inside the fountain. Well, what do you know? Defender. What is the meaning of this? How could you have lost such a vital piece of evidence? Your Honor, it wasn't on purpose. Trust me. What? It's not lost for. Just stick your hand in the fountain and dig around until you find it. Just because it's invisible doesn't mean you can't feel it. That's not how that works. I can't believe the robe actually. Just dig in the fountain and what?
I don't quite know what you're talking about. I can still see the robe just fine.
Huh?
Look, it's right here. See?
No, Miss Kira, I really don't see because there's nothing to see.
So is that how it works? Putting the robe on makes you disappear completely from sight? But from the looks of it, only Kira is able to actually see the robe itself. It's not just me. It's all inhabitants of the Eldritch Woods. All of us can see the robe.
Okay, the Eldritch Woods.
Our village lies deep within the recesses of the forest in a world much different from this one. That's where I live. As long as we obey the law of the land, we are allowed to live there.
I knew it. There's definitely something different about Kira compared to the rest of the townspeople here. For the time being, seeing as only the witness can see the robe, we will cover it in flour again for the sake of visibility. But there's still only one tiny thing bothering me. Miss Kira, your robe was found on the middle floor of the bell tower, the same floor where we found my client. However, you were hiding on the uppermost level of the bell tower. You testified a little while ago that you dropped your robe, but I had to wonder, what exactly were you doing there on the top floor? It would seem there is still much you must ask this witness. What say you, High Inquisitor Darklaw?
'Tis the Inquisition's duty to follow my lord's decision on such matters. I have no objections.
Very well, witness. You are hereby ordered to continue with your testimony. Tell us what happened between you sneaking up to the top floor of the bell tower and tonight's most terrible crime.
Yes, okay.
Witness testimony. What happened on the top floor?
I was waiting on the middle floor of the tower. I started to turn around, but I was too late. They attacked me from behind. There was nothing I could do. My arm was restrained, and the attacker covered my mouth. As I struggled to get away, I think I managed to pull something off of my attacker.
Pull something off of your attacker, huh? Well, that something happened to be the pendant with mysterious marks found on it. Witness, are you saying someone attacked you while you were into the bell tower?
Yes, that is correct.
But who?
Ooh, me, pick me. I think I know. I don't know. They attacked me from behind, so I couldn't see who it was.
So you were unconscious the entire time after that?
That's why I was unable to complete my mission. But even if I hadn't been unconscious, I couldn't have done anything trapped high up in the belfry like that.
I wonder if that weird contraption was found that there was used to move Kira up to the belfry. At least, I can't see any other way she could have gotten up there.
You heard the witness? She was locked up in the belfry of the tower. In other words, she couldn't have had anything to do with tonight's events. Therefore, there was no need for this utterly useless interrogation.
Objection!
Not so fast. The witness also testified that someone attacked her tonight. Defender, are you implying that this attacker could have been Vizela? I cannot say for certain, Your Honor. Regardless, the defense requests we be allowed to cross-examine this witness. Request granted. Now then, Defender, you may begin your interrogation. And here's where the fun begins.
Let's see if we can coax this mysterious second witch out of hiding.
Well, methinks I have a solution. Because if you were attacked, and you ripped something off your attacker, and I'm correct in assuming it's the pendant,
Objection!
then we know exactly who it is. Miss Kira, you stated that you felt something snap off of your attacker. Would that thing, by any chance, be this right here?
Oh. That's it. I recognize that shape. That's the object I grabbed.
What did you say? But that's the accused pendant, is it not? Not quite, Your Honor. There are actually two pendants like this. The one you see here is the counterpart to Miss Cantabella's pendant.
Now you mentioned, I remember, the necklace was actually very tough. It really didn't rip right off so easily. So, I struggled against it, tugging and pulling at it for a bit. I must have scratched the neck in the process.
Wait a second, you mean you scratched your attacker's neck?
I think so, but I don't know for sure. Nick, in that case, that means the dark stuff on the necklace could be...
Yeah, it could be attacker's blood. Yeah, we knew that's what it was gonna be the second that you told me there were marks on there. Yeah, I mean, we always knew that was gonna be. As the court can clearly see, there are still traces of blood left on the necklace itself. However, take one good look at my client and you'll notice there are no visible scars or cuts of any kind around her neck. Ergo, there is no way Miss Cantabella could be Miss Kira's attacker.
Objection.
Nice try, defender, but I must stop you right there. Have you already forgotten what I told you? The Great Witch can use any spell in existence. She could have easily healed any such wound in the blink of an eye.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I already missed Inquisitor Barnum.
Man, we really can't catch a break on this one, huh, Nick?
There is no spell for healing in the Grand Grimoire. Let us resume the interrogation. Witness, continue with your testimony. So I guess now my question is that if you were attacked from behind, how did you manage to yank yourself around and pull the pendant off from behind you? Miss Kira, something a little strange about your testimony just now, wouldn't you say?
Huh?
You stated that you were attacked from behind, that the attacker grabbed you by the wrist, correct?
Yes, that's right.
And assuming that was, in fact, the case, then I'd say no matter how much you struggled, there's no way you would have been able to yank off this pendant, don't you think? The strap on this pendant is too short. There's no way you could have reached behind you and managed to pull it off. That is a good point. Miss Kira, the only way you would have been able to yank this pendant off of your attacker is if they were standing directly in front of you.
No!
Order, I say. Witness, is this true?
Objection.
The witness was the victim of a physical attack. It's only natural that she be a bit confused in some of the details.
Objection.
Hi, Inquisitor. I wouldn't exactly call mistaking the location of your attacker being a bit confused. I call more of a barefaced lie.
Well now, defender, I see you are as pathetically short-sighted as ever. Your argument is only valid assuming that the girl here actually saw her attacker. If she was not able to see this person, well, I'd say it makes no difference where they were standing.
Then that means the attacker was also wearing one of these robes?
That is impossible, my lord, as the witness already stated earlier. Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see these robes. In short, the attacker must have been a witch and must have disappeared from sight with the use of magic.
You must mean the Great Witch Mizella.
There is one more thing proving the attacker to be a witch. And just what might that be? The witness stated that she lost consciousness. If you take a note in the Grand Grimoire, you will notice a spell called Phenol. Witness, allow me to ask you, did you hear the incantation of the spell? Now that you mention it, I do remember hearing something like that.
Say what? That would have been... You know, these are things that are useful to know. Here it is. Painful. Causes those who hear the incantation to lose all consciousness.
You must not forget. Instant sleep spell causes those who hear the incantation to lose all consciousness. Its effect takes hold the second this incantation is heard.
Witness, amend your testimony to reflect this important piece of information.
Yes, right away.
Oh boy, I can't believe she managed to get out of that one. But still, I'm not allowed to give up just yet. I'll keep on going until we finally get to the bottom of who this real attacker is. Just take one guess, Phoenix. Who had the other freaking pendant? Also, who did we predict that would be the ultimate final bad person of this, the ultimate antagonist of this game in, like, episode 2? Pretty sure I said something along the lines of, we have someone named Miss Darklaw telling you that your client is gonna plead guilty. Methinks there might be something amiss here, and yeah, come on, Phoenix, who do you think the attacker was? I heard the incantation for Painful, and before I could even turn around... Wait, this is before everything. No, you would have been knocked unconscious instantly if you actually heard the spell. You wouldn't have had time to do a little scuffle with the attacker. Miss Kira, I've watched you with that witness stand this entire trial. Desperately trying to keep something hidden from the rest of the court. I wonder if you're familiar with the saying, a lie begets more lies. It means... multiple lies are bound to unravel and leave your story with more holes than Apollo Justice Ace Attorney.
Get to the point, defender.
According to the Grand Grimoire, Painful causes a person to lose all consciousness. It's written here in black and white. Its effect takes hold the second the incantation is heard. Miss Kira, you testified as follows. You heard the incantation for Faintful and immediately became aware of the presence of your attacker. You then put up a fight. But if you really did hear that incantation, then there's no way you would have been able to yank that pendant from your assailant! Oh, here we go! Here's the Bassoon music! Yes, it's been like 6,000 years since we've heard this! Here we go! Spellbreaker! Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? The meaning is that Miss Kira didn't actually hear the incantation like she claimed she did. But then why? I heard was this girl unconscious. Kira was definitely knocked out by whoever attacked her, and when she woke up, she found herself up at the top floor of the bell tower. It's possible Miss Kira was rendered unconscious by something other than magic. The answer here is obvious. Something other than magic must have knocked her out.
And what, may I ask, makes you so certain of that? Is it not possible that another spell could have been used?
Objection!
That's just not possible. You, of all people, should know that. What? Miss Kira has claimed that she heard someone say the incantation is completely false. Even so, that wouldn't be too much of a problem if she had actually heard an incantation. That's right. However, going by testimony, that can't have been the case. The only spell capable of making someone lose consciousness is Faintful. Isn't that right? Excuse me, High Inquisitor Darklaw? The Defender, are you claiming there was another way beside magic that could have been used to render Miss Kira unconscious? There's only one other thing that crossed my mind. I'm speaking, of course, about sleeping medicine. Sleeping medicine? If you remember, Miss Kira stated that the attacker covered her mouth before she could scream. In doing that, the attacker was able to administer a potent sleep medicine that thus putting Miss Kira out like a light. Indeed, that does make sense. Therefore, Your Honor, the attacker did not necessarily have to be Bezella. I mean, why would an all-powerful being capable of commanding any and all magic need to resort to drugging someone?
Objection!
Hold it right there, Defender. They managed to sneak past the guards and make their way up into the bell tower. Clearly, they must have used magic to appear invisible.
Objection!
You don't need magic to make yourself disappear, High Inquisitor. Throw this on and getting past those guards at the tower is a piece of cake. The robe of invisibility. But despite all that, there's still one glaring problem. Miss Kira.
Yes?
You admitted to the court earlier that you were attacked from the front, correct? If that's the case, then there's only one possible conclusion we can draw. You, Miss Kira, were entirely capable of seeing your attacker's face.
Why is that? I didn't...
It's simple. You even said it yourself. Only residents of the Eldritch Woods were able to see this robe. That means, Miss Kira, there is a piece of this puzzle that only you could possibly know. Only you can tell us the identity of the person who entered the bell tower and attacked you tonight.
I can't tell you. Oh, come on. No matter what happens, I just can't tell you no matter what.
Making this really hard on yourself now, Kira. You see, everyone, this witness has been covering up for someone from the very start of this trial. What? But luckily for us, we won't be needing any more of Miss Kira's testimony, because the answer is staring us right in the face. I'm speaking, of course, about the true identity of Miss Kira's attacker. All the clues are point to this one person. Defender, do you intend to prove such an accusation? I am. Alright. It looks like it all comes down to this. Now we'll finally see who's been pulling the strings this whole time. Perhaps someone who started pulling the strings before you even got to this godforsaken town. That should have been obvious to everybody. Very well, Defender, tell the court. Who was the one responsible? That's easy. Professor Darklaw.
Take that!
The answer is obvious, Your Honor. It was you! High Inquisitor Darklaw. Oh. What? Order! Order in the court! Inconceivable! There's no way!
I must say, Defender, your courage is impressive, however reckless you may be. Accusing a High Inquisitor is no small feat, I assure you. However, with serious accusations come serious consequences. One small misstep and I will personally see that you never set foot in this courtroom ever again. Mark my words, Defender.
I understand.
My, how confident. Let us see if that confidence of yours is well justified.
Miss Kira's attacker drugged her with sleep medicine. It likely took no more than a few seconds for her to lose consciousness. The medicine must have been very potent. True. After all, its effects appear somewhat similar to magic. There's only one person I can think of in all Labyrinthia who could supply you with that kind of medicine. Sir Newton Belduke.
Objection!
Defender, you are aware that Sir Belduke has been deceased for over 3 months now, are you not?
That's a fact I'm well aware of, believe me. While he was still alive, Sir Belduke provided the citizens of all the town with a variety of medicines for whatever ailed them. But it wasn't all just medicine. He also created some very dangerous concoctions. That's why, after he passed away, all of his medicines and creations were confiscated. Confiscated? Inquisitor Barnum said as much in the last witch trial. The victim was an alchemist after all. We are hoping the items confiscated from the study could provide some clues. Besides, such things must not fall into the wrong hands. It may not be standard practice, but it was deemed necessary. The confiscated goods are stored in our secret vault. The only person with access to them is the High Inquisitor, Lady Darklaw. Ah!
Objection!
So, because I have access to the medicine, I must be the one that used it? Is that what you're getting at, Defender?
That's right.
Unfortunately for you, I would hardly call that proof. You said it yourself. Sir Belduke concocted a plethora of dangerous medicines in his efforts to assist the people of the town. He was well known for this fact, a fact that he no doubt was none too pleased with. As such, it is highly likely that those same dangerous substances are still scattered throughout the town. And therefore, Defender, it is entirely possible that the culprit was able to get their hands on such dangerous medicine.
Indeed. Long has Sir Belduke's medicine played an active part in maintaining the health of his town's citizens. There is plenty of reason to believe some of his more dangerous medicines still remain within Labyrinthia.
Piece of advice, Defender. Next time you speak in court, I recommend you try procuring some real evidence for spouting such idiotic accusations. If you fail to do so, your next words will be uttered to the flames.
Figures. I knew she wouldn't take that argument sitting down. Both High Inquisitor Darklaw and Inquisitor Barnum are the very harbingers of justice within Labyrinthia. Raising such an accusation against either of one of them without valid reason will result in the most severe punishments.
What does she mean by the most severe punishments?
I think the judge is saying that if I don't start making a case, we're going to be paying Sir Belduke a visit real soon. I need to present some decisive evidence and fast. I'm pretty sure I should be able to do that much. High Inquisitor Darklaw is the attacker, and the one thing that proves it is Darklaw herself. Because if the pendant was forcibly removed from her neck, then we're sure to find a wound somewhere under there. High Inquisitor! That clue is actually still on you right now!
On me?
I must admit, I do not know where you are going with this, Defender, but please point out this clue to the court. Show us the clues. Suppose it's still in the High Inquisitor's person. The proof that it was Darklaw is probably concealed underneath this cloth on her neck.
Got it!
It's where it would make sense to be.
Objection!
Defender, I recommend you get rid of that smug look and take that pointing finger out of my face. Huh? That is... Unless you'd rather I remove it for you.
Ah, well... What?
What? What? What do you mean?
Taking the pendant must have left some sort of mark behind. Question is where? Alright, back to the drawing board. Where else could it have been? That's where it was around her goddamn neck! Literally, where else could it have been? What the... Where... Literally, where else could it possibly have been? It has to be here.
Got it!
Oh, no, taking a page out of Spirit of Justice's book, are we? Oh, you're 1 millimeter off from where it needs to be, therefore wrong. I knew it was there. Anybody with half a brain knew it was there, but the game's like, oh, well, you were 1 millimeter off for do-do-do-do. Thanks, game. That's my favorite. My favorite is when you're like less than a millimeter away, and therefore you're wrong. The High Inquisitor's neck? You don't mean... Miss Kira yanked this pendant off of her attacker's neck. Take a look at the necklace. It still has a little bit of blood left on it. According to her earlier testimony, when Miss Kira pulled the necklace, she supposedly felt herself scratch the attacker's neck. Is that correct, Miss Kira?
Yes.
Therefore, the attacker should still have a mark on their neck from having been scratched. Oh, would you mind letting the court take a look at your neck, High Inquisitor Darklaw? I'm pretty sure that underneath that high collar, we'll find exactly the mark we're looking for. Unless, of course, you were able to get rid of it with magic!
Most impressive.
What?
I have to say, Defender, you've managed to finally hone that dull blade of yours into something of use.
Oh, okay, Simon Blackwell.
You are correct. There is, in fact, a mark on my neck that I did receive tonight.
What?
Lady Darklaw, what's the meaning of this? Does that mean Lady Darklaw is the Great Witch?
Your Honor! Yes, I see you're still here, Defender. Your Honor, I know you're shocked and everything, but come on, work with me here. Your Honor, the defense would like to call High Inquisitor Darklaw to the witness stand. What did you just say? It's quite clear that the High Inquisitor has some connection to what transpired tonight, and what's more, there is a chance that she used her position of authority as High Inquisitor to frame my client as the Great Witch. But never in all my years as judge of this court has an Inquisitor been asked to take the stand in the middle of a trial. Well, we're going to have to make some history here if we're finally going to find the truth, Your Honor. Even so, this trial cannot continue any further without an Inquisitor.
Hey, in that case, how about you get Inquisitor Barnum? Inquisitor Barnum remains incarcerated in the underground dungeons for the crime of treason against the storyteller.
Nice failsafe, Darklaw.
I think he'll be able to make it to this party. No way! Most regrettable, Defender.
This whole thing is hopeless. Unless High Inquisitor Darklaw takes to the witness stand, this fellow will be done for, and the truth along with her. But on the other hand, without an Inquisitor on the other side, the trial can't continue and the outcome would end up the same. What should I do?
Hold it.
Right on cue.
I believe I can fill that role.
Professor, wait, what are you saying?
I can prove, conclusively, that Espella Cantabella is, in fact, the Great Witch Bazella. Now, Mr. Wright, the time has come at last to settle this once and for all.
We've been waiting for the professor to show up. If there was anyone who could find some decisive evidence to win this thing, it was him. However, he ended up standing behind the Inquisitor's bench. The professor wasn't on our side. I had to wonder what the heck was going to happen.
I'll tell you what's gonna happen. We're gonna grind his crappy logic into the ground. You have no idea how long I have waited for this. Not waited to face up against him in court. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Just waited for an opportunity to rub it in his face with all the condescension he threw our way earlier in the game. Next episode is gonna be one hell of a party. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Goodbye.